Emails released by a Senate subcommittee ahead of testimony tomorrow by present and former Goldman executives show Goldman executives seem to cheer as the housing market collapsed. In the fall of 2007, one Goldman executive wrote, quote, "Sounds like we'll make some serious money." And another email that fall, Goldman CEO Lloyd Blankfein says the firm lost money on the housing market, then made more than we lost because of shorts, which are bets against the market. All of this comes with Senate Democrats and Republicans still struggling to reach a deal on financial reform, but with the Senate still set to have a key procedural vote on reform at 5 p.m. Eastern Time today. Here to talk about these new developments, Dylan Rategan, host of MSNBC's Dylan Rategan Show. And Dylan, when you read emails like this and some of the other information we know, it is hard to believe that there's not an agreement between Democrats and Republicans on financial reforms when you have people saying we're going to make. I know that's what's hard to believe.
I know. Well, doesn't it speak, Cameron, to the influence of the bank money and how cloudy their judgment is? Because it's so obvious that the opportunity is there to restore lending and investing, punish the fraud, get rid of the bank gambling with other people's money. Anybody can make money. If you give me money cheap and special, and I can't get it from, and no one else can get what I get, and then I can gamble with it and stick you with the losses, and then I can act like I'm a big shot. It's unbelievable. Right. So really, this is a referendum on our Congress as to whether they will do the right thing and actually have the real debate. Will they avoid the debate altogether and just have a pretend solution like the current bill that they have, in which nothing really gets fixed?
Well, let's talk about some of the fixes they're looking at. Senator Blanche Lincoln and her suggestion regarding derivatives. Explain what she wants and why you think that's a bright spot.
Everything else on Wall Street is traded in public. All the oil, all the commodities, all the stocks, all the equity derivatives. I can look at a board and I can say, oh, look, there's a million of these and a billion of those and 10,000 of these, and I can see the risk. Everybody can, you can see, look at the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. The banks created a single specific secret market for credit derivatives that is in their interest to trade secretly because they can make more money keeping it secret.
And so Blanche Lincoln's solution is?
The Blankfein solution, or excuse me, the Blanche Lincoln solution is to make it public. She's just saying, hey, if you guys want to gamble, do it in public and do it with your own money. And if you want to have some crazy custom insurance policy, don't do it in a secret bank deal. Call Lloyd's of London. They'll insure Cameron Hall's legs. They'll sure as heck insure anything anybody wants to get insured. They'll do the most custom insurance policy in the history of the world. There's no reason for these to be in secret.
The reports that the Democrats may be willing to do concede on this issue of the $50 billion fund for banks to have of its own money if it fails again, or big bank fails.
$4.6 trillion so far has been delivered to the banks. A $50 billion resolution fund is laughable and preposterous. The problem with too big to fail is that it creates two kinds of banks. One, giant banks with free access to our government to gamble however they want with an implicit guarantee which gives them lower cost of capital, and then they draw all the other money into their little sinkhole, right, because they get cheaper money, and then everybody else.
So that makes this idea
the Democrats' plan.
Right.
That's stupid.
Okay. Well, that tells us what you think of it. So tomorrow,
well, I mean, why would you have two classes of business in this country? One that is nursing on the government's
teat. We know
it's
floated out that they're ready to concede on this one. But tomorrow, the big showdown on Capitol Hill. What will you be looking for, and what do you suggest to all of the people who now, all our taxpayer dollars going into these banks?
Remember that at the root of the rabbit hole, conflict of interest between the custodians, the police, and the proprietors. That's number one. So does the legislation fix the conflict of interest? The answer is no, it doesn't. The ratings agencies still work for the banks. The ratings agencies were the ones putting AAA ratings on garbage and selling it to your pension fund and to your teacher's retirement account. And the legislation preserves that. Transparency, secrets, bad. Transparency, good. Conflict of interest, bad. No conflict of interest, good. I mean, that's cave language for 4-year-olds, which apparently only our Congress does not understand.